Good morning, English 14. Well, I guess it's morning for me, but you could be listening to this tonight. We've got a little something different happening today. As you can see, my face is in the lower right-hand corner, and then I've got some essays. And so what I'm going to do today is what I call essay in the raw, and I'm going to walk you through my own editing process. So as you can see from the timestamps, this is an essay I wrote a couple years ago. Um, but I think the edits and the process is still really relevant. So what we're going to do today is kind of walk through what I'm looking for from you in terms of your essay editing process or your short story editing process. I'm going to post the PDFs of the essay that we're looking at, so you don't have to worry that you can't see everything. I'm going to scroll pretty quickly, and then if you want to go back and look at the edits, then you can, and then I'll show you the final draft. So here's what we're going to do. I wrote an essay in January 2016 for a motherhood website that I write for, and it was not going great. Okay, so I had a deadline. I didn't really have much of an idea. And so I drafted really, really rough, a first draft. This would be in that, shitty first drafts category, right? Typically, um, this isn't the level of draft that I would even share with a writing group because it just isn't there yet. It's really not very cohesive. I didn't have a lot of direction. As you can see, I'm going to scroll all the way to the end for you. I didn't have a conclusion. And I actually wrote, I need a conclusion. This is a practice that I often have. I'll just say, I need this in my first drafts, my initial drafts that are just for me. They kind of give me markers of what I want to go where, but I don't have it really ready to roll. So I drafted the essay and then I read it over. I made sure it was clean, free of typos, easy to read and follow. I knew it needed a lot of work. I shared it with some writing friends of mine who review my work, and they gave me feedback. So as you can see, they did sort of what my expectation is for you. They went through the essay, they commented on different lines, what was working, what wasn't working. They gave me some, just like little minor, like micro edits, like with word changes. They gave me some bigger macro edits. Hey, I think this is the heart of your essay. You need to rearrange things. You need to do something different. And then they went through and they each provided a summative comment. Here's what's missing. Here's what I'd like to see from you. Here's what I think you should do differently. So I took that feedback. I said, okay, great. This is really helpful. And I came up with this. Now, I moved some of their comments, right? Because I adhered to them. So once I adhered to a comment or I addressed it, I deleted it. I made a lot of changes. My entire first paragraph is different. I added a whole bunch of other information. I made lots and lots and lots of changes. Look. As you can see, we are looking at a really different essay. I moved things around. I added new things. I included entirely new sections. I got a conclusion. I made some big changes, okay? Time has passed. You can look at the timestamps on the side. I think that's helpful so you guys get an idea of how long these things take me. I worked on this essay for several weeks. Not exclusively, but I'd come in and poke at it and hop out and come in and spend an hour and then hop out, and spent some time on it. And then I came up with another draft. All of the things that are in colors are then changes from draft to draft, okay? So in the previous version, the essay was, the changes were blue, and then now they're purple. So I'm changing again. I finally got a title. I have a new first paragraph. I have a whole new section here. I moved things around, and I really, really view essays and sometimes even short stories a little bit like Jenga. You have to build, move, build, move. Things can move around within the essay. Just because a paragraph doesn't fit at the bottom doesn't mean it can't fit at the top. Restructuring is a great game. Okay, you can you can really do a lot when you move things around. So please, as you're revising this week and as you're looking at your essays and your stories and you're thinking about how to change them, I should scrap this and start over is not really what I'm looking for. I You did the work, you put words on the page, and now let's make those words work for you. Okay? How can you rearrange things? How can you add? How can you take one concept and expand on it and then move another paragraph up to meet it and then build out another paragraph underneath so that the whole thing becomes cohesive? Okay? I had this first essay started something about a play date. That initial paragraph that kind of got me into the essay is gone now. But it helped me because it started me off in a whole bunch of other ideas that then stuck. Okay? So I'm going through, I moved so much around. Look, even still, I'm making more changes. Little tiny changes. I'm capitalizing things, I'm moving periods, I'm adding asides. Um, I did some formatting. As you can see, I did this asterisk. These line breaks are actually really helpful. In this class, I'm comfortable with the asterisk line break. Different publications will have different formatting expectations for you. This particular website, in their style guidelines, accepts line breaks with an asterisk. I've worked with other sites that have other like little graphics or custom line breaks that they use. So the asterisk that I use in my drafts as a placeholder, and then when they publish it, it looks a little different. But that asterisk line break helps divide up ideas, and it serves as just a little bit of a transition visually that lets the reader know I'm shifting gears, and that's really appropriate. You're welcome to use that if you think it would help in your essay or your short story. Okay, and then I really, really rearranged and I wrote another new conclusion. All of this is new. And then I moved things around. And you can look at this more specifically when I upload these documents. There you can see them below. Okay, and then, so you can see this is the conclusion, okay? And here's the final essay. Wrote it in January, it went up in February. And you can even see the conclusion changed again right before it went up. And I will link to all of this so you can see. But I think sometimes it's really helpful when you are writing to see, sorry, I'm big now. Hello. For you to see the people who are writers and who are writing a lot and who are doing this craft work all the time are not producing perfect work the first time out the gate. Is this the best essay I've ever written? For sure, no. But it went through a really long process, and it took time and it took effort. It took input. It took me thinking about it while I'm on a run or while I'm driving my kids to school and trying to figure out what's going to happen in paragraph 3 or how I'm going to connect these two ideas together. It took work, okay? And this week, that is the work that you get to do. You did the first draft work. You did the peer review work. You are getting edits from me, and I'm going as fast as I can on these short stories, but they're long and I want to give you good feedback. Hopefully soon they'll be done by tomorrow night. And then you can have a couple days with those short stories, and you can spend the first part of this week really working on your essays. But set aside some time to work on it, time to let it sit, time to circle back on it. You have all of this week. to really think through revisions. If you want to circle back to your peer review group, you can do that as well. You could say, hey guys, I've decided to pick my second personal essay for the final, and I made some changes and I'd love your insights. You could do that. That would be great. To be available to each other this week is going to be really key. I'll be posting announcements throughout the week. If you have questions, let me know. Happy writing. Happy revising.